Hello friends, welcome back to Mudstack. This session is a part of the series where we are discussing about how to implement CI/CD with different tools. So we have already seen in previous two sessions how to implement pipeline using Jenkins, and then in second session we have seen how to implement via GitHub Actions. In this session, we are going to see how we can implement CI/CD pipeline using Circle CI. So let me recap what we have done in the previous two sessions. So basically, we have discussed what is CI/CD, and then we have seen why we should use CI/CD. Okay, so CI/CD stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery. So continuous integration is the process in which all code changes from multiple developers automatically merged into a single shared repository. Then each integration is verified by an automated tool that checks for code style and runs test cases before each build. Okay, and continuous delivery or deployment expands upon continuous integration by deploying all code changes to a non-prod environment or a production environment after a build stage. Okay, so in other words, we can say that all new features or bug fixes will be delivered to hands of a tester or users frequently. Okay, so this practice of CI/CD significantly, if you see, reduces the cost of manual operation for developers, testers, and hence it improves the productivity and shorten the deployment time as well as shorten the time to market. Okay, so we are going to discuss the practical scenario, but before that, why we're talking about Circle CI here? So there are so many popular build tools in the market, right? So I'm going to compare this Circle CI with the Jenkins and see how good Circle CI is. Okay. So first of all, and probably the most distinct difference between Jenkins and Circle CI is that you need a server to host Jenkins there. Okay, which requires administration knowledge as well as considerable amount of time for configuration and customization. Meanwhile, Circle CI is a cloud native platform, which means you don't need to set up any server. It just runs out of the box. Okay. Secondly, Jenkins interface is rather old and unintuitive if you compare with Circle CI's design. Okay. So Circle design is very friendly when it comes to configuration. With Circle CI, you will get the configuration file in YAML format, and that file will be very easy. I'll show you how it looks. Very easy and very easy to understand for developers. Okay. In conclusion, if I say Circle CI is a lightweight CI/CD platform that supports almost every programming language out of the box, and developers can also deploy. So they can deploy to AWS, they can deploy to Azure, Google Cloud, Heroku, and many other cloud hosting services. Okay. So let me discuss about the practical scenario. So let's say a group of developers working on a Mule project, okay, and all code changes from those developers are pushed to GitHub repository. So for with each pushed, okay, or each commit to the repository, Circle CI job will get triggered, okay, and then that job will do these steps. Okay, it will check out the latest code, then it will install the dependencies, run the test cases, then after all tests are passed, Circle CI job will deploy our code to a cloud using Mule Maven plugin. So let's jump on to the demo part where we'll be creating similar project, which we have used for GitHub Actions in Jenkins pipeline. So let me start. Okay. Okay. So we have four things. Okay. So Anypoint platform, our Circle CI, and our GitHub, which is a code repository, and then we'll be using Anypoint Studio. Okay. So let's start one by one. So I'll go to Circle CI. So let's go ahead and try to log in or try to create account with. So if we have GitHub account, that's enough. Okay. So we can directly log into our Circle CI using GitHub credentials. So you go to add application, then say add project. You can log in with your GitHub credentials here. So what it does, okay, so it will share the SSH key with the GitHub. So GitHub will give a permission or allow Circle CI to check out the code or poll the repositories, whichever repository we are going to plan in our CI/CD pipeline. So let me log in. So now Circle CI is authorized to check out the code from code repository. Okay. Now our first step is done. We have authorized Circle CI. Now second step, we'll go to our GitHub account, sign in the same credentials. Okay. Now here first we'll create a empty repository. Let's go ahead and create empty repository. So these steps we have already done, but still I'm So I'll say MuleSoft hyphen circle CI CI/CD hyphen pipeline. Okay. So let's create this empty repository. Now let's go to our Anypoint Studio. We'll create a new project similar to our GitHub empty project. So I'll just copy the same name from here. Our repository name, what your name is there. I'll just copy that name. It's good to have same name. Okay. So Control V. Now we'll create empty project with Mule runtime 4.4.0. And in this, we'll add listener. Simple. We'll add set payload. We'll configure our set payload where we'll say hello world. Then in listener, we'll configure our default stuff, whatever is there. So we'll go with 8081. Here we'll give a resource path. Okay. So our application is ready now. Now we need to do some configurations. Okay. So let me do one by one. So first, we'll configure our form.xml. So let me add my project here in my working set. So just now we have created MuleSoft Circle CI/CD pipeline. Yes, this one. Okay. So first we'll configure our form.xml. So in form.xml, we'll configure Mule Maven plugin and we'll give information of our cloud. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let me maximize it. So if you go to this Mule Maven plugin, so here we'll be adding configuration, and in the configuration we'll be adding Cloud Hub deployment details. So let me copy that from the other project which we already used for our other sessions. Okay, Control C. I'm not doing anything new over here, so let me Control A, Control Shift F. So here, make sure you're not hard coding any sensitive information. So here you can see that the platform username and password I have externalized. So here I'll give some unique name here. Let's say MuleSoft Circle CI hyphen. I'll say CI/CD. Okay. And now if you see, I'm saying dev environment workers 1 micro is my worker type, and this is object switch store is equal to 2. Okay, so my form.xml is configured now. Second, if you are implementing a pipeline for CI/CD pipeline with Circle CI, then in our project itself we need to add setting.xml. So let's go ahead and I'll show you. So we'll go to our project root directory. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the code repository. Okay, here that setting.xml has to be there. Then, so let me copy, or I'll show you how the setting.xml looks like. So the similar setting.xml which we have used for other sessions, I'm going to add that to this project also. So I'll go ahead and maybe I can take it from one of our projects. So let me copy this. I'm copying it to my project. Okay, here Control V. Second step is also done. Our setting.xml is available in our project itself now. Now third thing is we need to create here folder called .circle CI folder. Okay, and this folder will keep our configuration YAML file for Circle CI. So let me show you. Very simple it is. Okay, so I'll copy from. I'll just open it. Okay, so now here what we are doing is, so here we are creating a job which is our Circle CI job. So I can say build and deploy. This is my job. Okay, build and deploy. And then we are creating a Docker image here. Okay, so that will be my environment. And I'm saying that, okay, you check out the code from code repository in this directory. Okay, then I am saying perform these steps. Okay, so check out, then run clean, then test it, package it, install it, and deploy it. For every steps, sometimes we need a plugins. Okay, so those plugins, what plugins are supposed to use in test stage, this setting.xml will give that information. Sometimes we need a Nexus repository, that information is there in the setting.xml. That's the reason we are adding this setting.xml in your code repository itself. Okay, I can have all these things in one line, but step by step I'm giving you. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this. So let's say save, and I'll go to this from where I have copied it. From here, I guess, copy this and paste it in our project. Okay, so here. Now this file we can create from Circle CI UI also. I'll show you that how we can create it. But I making sure that all the information is ready in the code repository itself before creating pipeline in Circle CI. Now my project is ready. We know how to check in the code, right? So again, go to Teams here and say share project. You can say create local repository first, then finish. Now go again, go to Teams, say commit. Here all those files here, and so this is first commit, say commit and push. Okay, so here we need to give our GitHub repository link. So let me copy this, go back here, paste that link, say preview. So our code is checking to master branch, push it, close. Now if you see our code repository, refresh it, it was empty earlier. Now everything is ready here. See, make sure you are not putting any sensitive data here. So I have summarized my Nexus credentials also. If you go back to our form.xml, there also my platform credentials I have. I'm just cross checking it. So now we are ready to start implementing our CI/CD pipeline in our Circle CI. Okay. So now let's go to the projects. Okay, let's go to the projects. And now here, just now we have created this project, right? All these projects are visible because we have integrated Circle CI with the GitHub. Okay, in the first step. Now let me build the pipeline for this guy. So set up project. Now you can see we can write this config.yml, same file from here also. Okay, but I don't want to do that. So let me go ahead and save this one and say master. Yeah, so this is there. See, so file. Let's go. Now, if it fails, right, it will fail. Why? Because I have not created those variables. So first we need to create these variables. Okay, so because in my setting.xml, the Nexus repository credentials are there, in my form.xml. So how to create these variables? Okay, so if you go to project setting here, go to project setting, and here you will find environment variables. No, if you have created same credentials for other projects, you can import it from here. Okay, but I have not done that, so it won't be available. But otherwise, if you already created, you can select that project, automatically those will be imported here. So I'll take a pause over here because some sensitive data I have. So I'll take a pause here, and once the variables are ready, I'll come back. Now you can see, guys, I have created all those 4 variables over here. We'll go back and we'll say wherever it fails. Okay, so we'll say go to build error, rerun. I'll just go back. I'll just say rerun. So Both options are great. Let me go back here quickly. So I made a small mistake in my config.yaml file. Here it is to be a build only. You cannot give some other name. Okay. So I fixed this and I've checked in the code and my pipeline got triggered automatically. See here. So let me show you all those pages, what all we have executed here. So it creates the environment first. Okay, spin up the environment for us. Then it prepares the environment variable. Okay, so in previous part, these are the inbuilt variables. We are getting it from the build environment. And these are our project specific variables. You can see here, these are project specific environment variables. Then next step, check out the code. So we got this code in our repo directory, which we have created there in our configuration file. So if you remember here, tilde slash repo, I have mentioned there. So that directory was created and the code has been checked out in this, checking out the branch, right? So master branch got checked out in this particular directory. Then, okay, so if this part is done, then we have steps over there, right? So I'm going clean first. So this got cleaned. Then test. Okay, this also successful. Then package it. So if you get a green check mark, that means the package also done. Then installed successfully. You can see that build successful. Now the code is getting deployed to my Anypoint platform. That is our Cloud Hub. Okay. So let me show you this is also build successful. Let me show you. Let's go to our it's deployed now. You can see that MuleSoft Circle CI CI/CD EP. That's what we have given in our right. If we copy this, see here, just now got deployed. Okay, if you're, if you wanted to do some more stuff in our configuration file, here we can use the caching also. So when we are checking out, right, let me show you that quickly. Just a second, I have that. So you can see here, guys. So this part, anyway, it's a common. And then we got checkout. So after checkout, right? So we can see the cache. From the cache itself, we can take the previous build, jars files. Okay, so here once your build is done, what we're doing is we're saving it to the cache. So these two things I wanted to discuss, right? So when you're download and cache dependencies, so dependencies can be cached over here, and then we restore from here and then save it here. Okay. And if we have multiple branches, right? If your checking is happening on multiple branches and you wanted to say master goes to our sandbox and developer also goes to sandbox, those things we can do it here. Okay, so I came up with a simple one which can be self-explanatory. So this is what we have executed. Now, if your Circle CI pipeline is failing or build is failing, right? So you'll be able to see the mails. So let me show you those mails also. I can show you those mails. We can see here, all these details will be able to see here. So why it, for every fail, you'll be able to see mails. See here. See here. Okay. Okay. So that's all from this session. So here we have, discuss how we can configure our Circle CI with the, GitHub to, say, for a code repository. And then configure.yaml file be, it is used to build the pipeline. Okay. So in that pipeline, we have seen very simple steps first. And then we have seen we can add the caching also over there for dependencies. Okay. So it won't install all those dependencies again and again. Okay. So hope you like this session. Please subscribe the channel. Please share with the friends. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.